This is the plaintiff, Elton Ferdinand. He says he gave the defendant a good faith deposit for a 5-foot metal shipping trunk he said he had in a storage warehouse. But when it came time for him to deliver on his promise, the trunk was only 3 feet long. When he asked for his money back, he was told there were no refunds. Huh? He doesn't know what type of scam the defendant thinks he's running, but he's not going to allow him to get away with it. No way, no how. He's suing for $3,000 for the cost of the trunk and aggravation. This is the defendant, John. He says he told the plaintiff he doesn't make stock trunks 5 feet in length, but he would be happy to special order one for him from the manufacturer. The plaintiff was very happy, plunked down a $60 deposit, and the trunk was ready for pickup in a week. The plaintiff then told him he changed his mind, wanted a cheaper one, and is now suing him for $3,000. Is this guy crazy? He's accused of being 2 feet too short.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff gave the defendant a deposit for a trunk, but it wasn't the promised size, and he can't get a refund. The defendant says the plaintiff just wanted a cheaper trunk. It's the case of your trunk is junk.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Elton Ferdinand?
Yes.
You are suing the company the defendant works for. You've asked us not to use your last name or the company name.
Correct.
For $3,000 because you gave them a $60 deposit and they won't return your $60 deposit, and somehow magically that mushrooms into a $3,000 lawsuit. Tell me about it.
Okay. A friend of mine told me that years ago he bought a trunk from this store. So I went there. I said, look, I'm interested in a 5-foot metal trunk. He said, look, we don't sell these things often, but I have at least 3 of those trunks in my warehouse. I said, okay, bring one up from the warehouse. I'll come back and take a look at it. The salesman, not this gentleman, he said, look, as in good faith, leave a little something, I deposit something for this trunk. So I left $60.
Did you get a receipt?
Yes, I did.
May I see the receipt?
That's the receipt. And the arrangement was that I would call them the next day, which is a Monday, and he would tell me for sure whether or not they have this trunk that I needed.
Okay, now the $60 that you left as a little good faith actually says absolutely no cash refunds on any exchanges, no refunds on deposits, no credits on credit cards. All right, so you give them $60. The trunk costs $300 plus there's tax or whatever. So you have a balance of $266.70 that you're supposed to pay them. When did they finally tell you we have the trunk, or they never had the trunk?
They never had the trunk.
And then they still, even though they couldn't fulfill your order of a 5-foot steel trunk, they would not give you back your $60.
Yes.
Now I suspect you have a very different story.
Yes, I do.
Okay, what's your story?
Okay, Your Honor, he came to our store on April 7th. He needed a trunk size 42 by 22 by 22. We explained to him we do not have it in stock. That's a custom order that needs to be ordered. We could have it by April 18th. He agreed. He left the 60.
How come that's not on the receipt, though?
There's 2 receipts that were given to him.
Let me see the other receipt.
Here you go.
Hand it to my
There you
bailiff,
go.
please.
Thank you, sir. Those 2 receipts were given to him. And I have pictures of the trunk.
Just a second, please. Why are there 2 receipts?
Because this was a special order, Your Honor.
So what? Why wouldn't you just all put it on one receipt? And why are the receipts not consecutively numbered?
Well, this was a special order.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're going to doctor up evidence, at least do it in a decent fashion. You need to marinate the lie so I can down it. Mm-hmm. Okay? I can't just down it dry like this. Mm-hmm. This has one number, and this has another number, and they are not consecutive. He didn't get 2 receipts. This is manure that you are telling me now to try to put everything on a receipt that you didn't put in the first receipt. Mm-hmm. That's making me angry. Okay? Why aren't they consecutively numbered if they were 2 receipts given to the same customer in the same transaction?
So, plaintiff suffers maybe a couple $100 in damages. He's suing for $3,000. Does he lose credibility, or is that just part of the game? What do you think?
I think he loses credibility. It sounds like he's just out to get more money.
And does that mean his case isn't as good as if he asked for the honest amount of money? What do you think? We haven't gone to you.
Always the same as her. She just wants extra money. That's all. So
Well, okay, fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Your Honor, that's a separate book we keep for special orders. And that
Really?
trunk-
Why don't you just write special order where it says trunk on the only receipt that I'm sure you're going to testify you got?
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
That's
okay.
the receipt.
Go on.
May I just say?
Yep, go on.
I asked him, I said, could you put on the receipt the size of trunk that I'm asking for?
Why don't you just go like this and put 5 right there that it's 5 foot? Why didn't you?
That's what I had asked him to put
I
on
don't
it.
think you asked him that either. I think
I did.
that you're both deserve
Okay.
each other.
Okay, now.
I think that's what's
Now,
going
Your
on.
Honor, the next morning, after he told me he only had an 4-foot trunk, I said I could go online and buy that same trunk for half the price.
So you came in.
Just a second. Hey, what do you think you're doing?
Sorry.
He
ahead.
said, okay, come and get your money back. So I went there the Thursday, and then this gentleman told me that the salesman who wrote that receipt, he's not there, and that he doesn't know anything about the transaction. I would have to come now on Sunday when the salesman is normally there. So I went again the Sunday now to get my money back, and there was an older gentleman there who said, look, I could get this trunk for you. I am going to special order this trunk for you. I said, hold up a second. You told me you already have this trunk. I don't want you to special order anything for me. He said, okay, I'm going to refund you your money. I get there
So
now.
you
on
get
the
there and
Sunday
now Dad's not there.
Dad's not there. He's there.
Okay, and he's not quite as accommodating.
He said, look, we don't give money back. This is the first time I'm going to hear that they have this policy.
Well, no, Dad, I don't know why. There's none so blind as he who will not see, because the stamp on your receipt says we don't give money back. Here's the thing, though. Even when you have a policy of no refunds, if you can't produce the item, then you've breached the contract and you have to give a refund. So this all boils down to whether I believe that you could produce the item.
Yes.
Which really depends on my believing your credibility. Mm-hmm. Which you're having a little bit of a problem with so far.
The trunk was ordered, Your
because
Honor.
you know and I know that this second receipt is something you guys just made up for court.
Not at all, ma'am.
Who wrote out this receipt?
I did.
Oh, so you're the guy who messed up.
Okay.
He did not write that
I
receipt.
did.
So
I
you're
did.
the guy who actually messed up and didn't
I
write
did.
anything on the receipt?
I did.
And you say he's a liar.
Your Honor.
not
You
write
didn't
the
deal with
receipt.
him until the note
Your Honor,
came. Give
Your
him back
Honor.
his $60. You don't get pain and suffering $2,000-something. You get your $60.
Okay.
You get interest from the moment that you should have gotten your $60, and you get your court costs. So you are made whole. All right? And the satisfaction of winning.
So the plaintiff has won this case for $60. You lost it. What's your feeling on this outcome here?
Well, it wasn't fair. I mean, he ordered the trunk. We have it in stock. Then he changed his mind. And then he's suing for $3,000, and that shows he's a crook.
What's with the doctored evidence?
There's no doctored evidence. He was given 2 receipts.
From 2 different books.
No,
And why weren't they consecutive again then?
they
The
were
same book?
consecutive.
Oh, all right.
They were
yeah, right down there.
consecutive.
I guess the judge must have gotten that one wrong. Oh, so step on in here. Nice job. $60. You win your case. You satisfied how this comes out?
Yes, I am satisfied. I figure he's going to be out of business in at least a year with that kind of behavior. And the thing is that his operation that he's got, it's like a Sanford and Sons kind of thing. It's sheer junk in there anyway. I wanted a
love that
trunk.
show.
I mean, what are you?
What are you doing suing for $2,940 in aggravation? What is
I
that?
wanted to get his attention. I was hoping that he doesn't show up and I get full judgment. And then I go there with a sheriff or something and take some of that junk that he's got.
All right, right down that way. Harvey?
A lot of people do this. They always sue for pain and suffering. Fact is, you do not get pain and suffering for breach of contract. You only get it in personal injury lawsuits.